He wants you guys to say, yeah, we're going to make them jealous some more. Let's do it, guys. Let's do it. We're going to make them very jealous. Come on. Let's give more money. Foolish people. Foolish. Never met such a people foolish in my life. Never met such people this foolish in my life. Seriously. Huh? Guys, can you believe that?
With my friends, Mugesi has no tooth. Me here, I have a problem. And as Gintu now, he's in the custody. But now they have just took him. And we don't know the charges. And as Gintu is taken. I don't know if it is the police officer or it's those people once that they visited him. There is a time that this kind of a man tried to reach Gintu with some people that were never introduced, even have some cards to introduce themselves that they are police officer.
Welcome and welcome back to my channel. This is your girl Mzungu Pebbles, okay? It is the Mzungu Pebbles channel, you know, the drama channel. Yeah, it's me. Thank you for always coming back to watch me, but if you are new and you haven't already subscribed, please consider subscribing to this channel. I'm trying to get to 1,000 subscribers, okay? Don't forget to smash that like button and leave your comments in the comment section. I don't have a lot to talk about today at all. Not a lot at all. But I thought that I would just come here and, you know, show my face and let you guys hear my voice. And party with you a little bit, you know. There's not much going on in the streets. The swamp area. There's not much going on in the streets in that swamp area. Well, just a little bit of news came out of the village today that I'll get into a little bit later. But first I want to talk about, you know, a few things. I'm going to talk about Marwa's fake dad. Yeah, just a little bit. I'll touch on him, and then I'll talk about Marwa, and then I'll talk about, I think it's Gintu. I think those are the only three people that I think have some sort of drama going on in the streets. Others are just fairly quiet, and, you know, right now they're non-entities. There's nothing to talk about them. I don't have time to go and watch their videos and waste my time on nothing that is there to really talk about. And I'm not going to nitpick on people just because I want to make a video, okay? So I'll just briefly talk about I am Marwa's dad. He is in the news. Oh gosh, these guys are noisy outside because I guess the weather is getting better. Just let a girl be great, man. Come on, shut up. So I am Marwa's dad has been in the news. Well, his alleged daddy, I don't know, has been in, you know, the streets for the past 2 weeks. I don't know what's going on, guys. I don't watch this man. I may watch him from other reactors channel, but I don't really go to his channel and watch him. He doesn't really interest me, and he never did from day one when he came out to say that he was I am Marwa's father. You know, I know a lot of people didn't agree with my first video that I made on him when I stated that, you know, a real dad it doesn't matter how much the mother taint a child against him or how far that mother runs with the child. You know, a real dad would have run after his child. That was my thought on the whole story, and a lot of people didn't like it. They kept saying, well, the mother kept him away, the machete man, he was afraid of the machete man, and, you know, and they gave a million reasons why this man, you know, there was nothing wrong with him not chasing after his child. He did the right thing. He just left them alone and allowed another man to raise his child until his child is, what, 33 years old? Because he has been 33 years old for the past 5 years. 33 years old and a little bit famous now in that area. And it's at this time that suddenly he wants to be in his son's life. And I thought that, that was wrong, because if that's me and my dad didn't chase after me, even if my mom took me away from him, I wouldn't want to have anything to do with him now that I have money. I'm telling you the truth. I wouldn't. Listen, I have a lot of family. I can't be a hypocrite. I can't come here and be a freaking hypocrite and say, oh my goodness, they should give him a chance, yada, 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 that's his blood. No, because I have a lot of blood relatives that I don't talk to. Because when I was a little girl, they didn't check for me. So, hey, now I'm grown and I can do stuff on my own and I have my own stuff and they want to be a part of my life. And I said, no way, Jose. For what? For what? You didn't know me when I was young and struggling. Why do you need to know me now? We don't need to be family. No, I'm sorry. But that's just how I am. So I can't come here and be a big hypocrite and say, oh, that's his dad. And if I had a dad who did that to me, I would do the same thing. Cut him off and that's it. Maybe I'm different. I'm Sagittarius. I cut people off and pretend as if they're dead. That's how I am. Even if you're a family member, I do not care. I'll just cut you off. So I can't agree with a lot of people who are saying, hey, Marwa should give him a chance. And now it's even worse. Because how can you just come out on social media and say all those nasty things about your ex and about your son, mother, who you want to come back into your life, and expect for him to sit there and say, you know what, he's my dad. He's probably hurting and he's just venting, like a lot of people are saying. He's just venting and he had all of this inside of him for all these years and he's just out here venting. And so I'm going to go talk to him because he's my daddy. That's ridiculous. First of all, I'll tell you all this. I'll tell you all this. If that was me, and he's saying that stuff about my mother, trust me, I would have been out of Argentina. I would have left Rocio in Argentina. I can tell you that. I'm crazy. Okay, I would have left her right in Argentina with that baby. My ASS would have been in Kenya to handle him. I can tell you that. I had a half brother who did something to my mother. And my mother picked up the phone one night, called me. I was in Manhattan, living in Manhattan in the city. She picked up that phone and she called me and told me what my half-brother did to her, threatened her. I went online immediately that night and I booked my flight. And the next day, I was on my way home to handle him. And I handled him, guys. I don't play that. I do not play that. So I'm telling you that if I was Marwa, I would have already been in Kenya to handle that. Anyone who disrespects my mother, I will handle you. And that's exactly what I did. I handled my brother. And trust me, to this day, this happened about 20 years ago, and to this day I have not spoken to him. I have not spoken to my brother because of what he did. He cost me money, first of all, to fly out immediately. That ticket was almost $2,000 because it was a sudden flight. I just packed a little bag and the next day I was on that flight early in the morning. No one knew I was showing up. I was coming and I just showed up. He peed his pants when he saw me because I handled him. And I didn't handle him physically. I let the cops handle him. That's what I did. I'm sorry. That's what I did, guys. So, I'm not going to sit here and be a hypocrite because I know what I would have done if someone was talking that badly about my mother. And, I understand that people are cheering him on, and that's, everyone has their opinion. That's you guys' opinion, and I have my own opinion and my own mind. So I'm not going to agree with the things that he's doing. I think he's doing too much. He's going overboard. There is venting, and then there is stalking. Still, you know, like I said, he's vent. People are saying that he's venting, but I think he's also stalking her online, and I think he's also disrespecting her online as well. So those things to me are not good. I would not want any of my ex to go online and bash me in that way. It doesn't matter what I did to them. I just don't feel that it's right to talk about me, degrade me in that way. You know, I don't care how many men I had out there. I don't feel like my ex should go online and tell the whole world. But people do what they want to do, especially if you have a child with that person and you want that child to be back into your life. But this man is doing this for the money. This is the reason, the only reason why he's doing it. He's flat broke and he's desperate for money, and he's doing it for the money. Listen, the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. He's greedy for money just like his son. So that's what he's doing. The more he spills the tea, the more super slaps he's getting, the more money he's getting sent to him, and the more people are telling him to talk more. And he will spill more tea just to get money. That's all he's doing, is the greed for money that is causing him to do this. Okay? And I'm pretty sure that he may mention my name in his next thing, because I noticed that if you don't agree with him, he jump up and he mention your name in a negative way. And if you agree with him, he will mention your name in a positive way. But I can tell you one thing, like a Nairobi teacher said. Nairobi teacher said something in his live, and many people were coming at Nairobi teacher and say, oh, why are you disrespecting this old man? Listen. Listen. I always say old people and children are off limits. But you see, once you disrespect me, that's it. It's out the door. I will cuss you. And I do not care if you are 101. I will cuss you. I will take your walking stick from you and beat you in your head. I'm sorry. I'm telling you. You can't disrespect me and expect for me to have respect for you. So he disrespected Nairobi teacher. He probably said something that upset him. So hey, it's tit for tat. It's tit for tat. So if he comes out and say anything about me, saying that I'm not going to agree with what he is saying about the woman, the nasty things he's saying, of course you could talk and you could say certain things, but he's going overboard. Get my point. He is going overboard. It is too much. Sometimes some things are just too much, and he's going overboard with it. That's the part I don't agree with. And like I said, I think the money he's getting is motivating him to do these things. And he thinks that he can't be arrested. I'm pretty sure he can, because trust me, I would arrest him if he was my father. I would be the one to go with the cops to lock him up. I can tell you that. I would do that. But I am a cold MF. I can tell you when I'm upset. I'm a cold MF. So I don't know. Give it to Marwa for not flying out of Argentina to handle him. But they have a different love for their mother than I have for my family. My family, if you touch my family, I will go to jail for my family. I can tell you that. I will. Yeah. So, that's all I wanted to say about that man. But from day one, I just never agreed with the way he came out and started saying things. And you know, I just can't understand a dad not chasing after his child, no matter what the mother said. I would be at school stalking my child. That's what I would do if I love my child that much. And from day one, I said that all he cares about is money. If Marwa was still that little boy sleeping with goats, we wouldn't hear anything from him trying to, you know, want to have a relationship with his child. Now let's move on to I Am Marwa. I think he did a live on Sunday, and you know, he just chit chat a little bit. It wasn't anything to talk about. Like, you know, I'm tired of watching him talk about the grass. Like every single video is about look at the grass, and I'm like, I just want to slap myself. Like, how could someone sit and watch him just talk about his grass and Mr. Louis' car all the time? Seriously, it's so boring. It's like, it's so boring. So I really don't watch him, but I saw a few reactors reacting on him and reacting on certain things that he said in that live. And one of the things that they talked about that he mentioned was, him telling people to buy land in Africa. And I had to write all of this down. Of course, he was telling people to if you live abroad, and in some way he is absolutely right about this. Like, there's nothing wrong with going abroad to make money, to work and make money, but don't forget where you're from. Don't go abroad and get so comfortable there and party your life away, buy expensive brand name stuff, and don't try to secure something in your country, because you're not going to be young forever. At some point, you're going to get old. And if you don't want to go back to your country, because not everyone wants to go back to their country, then you have to make sure that you can survive in the country that you're at. For example, if you're in America, just make sure that you can survive in America. Make sure you have a job, or you're saving some money stashed away somewhere in case something happens to you. Then you have that money to fall back on, okay? Or you have some sort of asset. So I agree with him 100% on that, because sometimes there's no place like home. I actually saw a video on Sonia's Adventures live 2 days ago, where this woman from Jamaica, she was literally in tears saying that she's a U.S. citizen now, but she regret not buying anything back home in her country, and now she's older, she's too embarrassed to go back home with nothing.
America is a struggle, in a easy year. In a easy. You understand what I say? And people that think say, come here, you work this, and come here, I go 11 years in this country, I'm tell you the truth. Me never take a vacation until for go another state. To say me I go, I want little Airbnb or any little thing and like that. Me never travel back on a plane from me coming to this country, coming and halfway for travel with me, no money. Me have to say, Father God, please straighten my foot, that's me can go work daily. My life depends on this job for pay me overhead in America. Every day I tell myself, say, save me to have a house back home. Me tell the truth, save me to have a house back home. It's not easy. Me tell yourself, me have a house back home, people. Me go back home. Me hand over back the citizenship and head back to my yard.
She wants to go back home, but she's embarrassed to go back home. She has nothing. She can barely survive in America. Working from paycheck to paycheck. Sometimes the paycheck is not enough. The living conditions that she's in is not good enough. It gets cold sometimes. You're not accustomed to this weather, and it's a lonely place. It is, and I can completely relate to her in the sense that it is a lonely place, and it's difficult living in America if you're not making a good salary. I'll also say, not just, a good salary. Try to start your own business, and you really don't need an education. A lot of people are singing on, oh, you need to go back to college to do this, to do that. No, you can start your own business, your own cleaning business. You can make a lot of money, because guess what? Sometimes you can write off a lot of expenses when you have your own business. So just think outside the box and don't think about, hey, I have to work for someone all the time, okay? Difficult living here and being able to save money to build a life somewhere else, or even to build a life here. And that's if you're not making good money, especially if you're in one of those states where the wages are very, very low. You can't really survive on $25 an hour. I'm sorry. I don't know. I don't know how people survive on that. That's like pocket change, So he's absolutely right about that. And he talked about I think one of the reasons why he said that was because of all the trade issues that is going on with, you know, the current government. And he was saying that, you know, because of all this trade war or trade issues or tariffs and all that stuff, is sort of opening up doors for other countries to realize that they need to become more self-sufficient. And that is absolutely true. A lot of countries are realizing that they need to become more self-sufficient so that they can function on their own and they won't have to be so reliant on the United States of America. Okay. The other thing that he talked about was that, you know, people should go back to Africa and purchase land, or people should purchase land in Africa, not specifically the Africans. He was also talking about other international people should try to invest in Africa, and that they can get land in Africa for $1,000. I don't know where in Africa you can get land for $1,000. I think he was talking about Kenya. Okay, so he was encouraging people from America and other places to try to make purchases in Africa, and saying that the only thing wrong with Africa is, what was he saying? The only problem Africa has? I can't remember. But what he needs to understand is that if you're older, wherever you're trying to relocate to, even if land is cheap there and a house is cheap there, you have to think about health care, and you have to think about, you know, well, healthcare is the main thing that people care about when they want looking for somewhere to retire. You know, it doesn't make sense if you retire somewhere, you're paying cheap rent or cheap mortgage, or you have your house, you don't have anything to pay monthly, and then you get sick, and what happens? They have to airlift you back to America. What's gonna happen? You'll die. So he went on to say, just bring $10,000 and come to his village and he can get land. He can get you land. And someone in the comment section mentioned that foreigners can't really buy land. It's going to be sort of a leasehold, not a freehold. And he said, no, the leasehold is only if you're buying land from the government, and it's not if you're buying land in his village. You can buy land in his village and no one is going to bother you. No one is ever going to come and try to claim that land. So I don't know how that works, guys, because I think someone mentioned that when you make a purchase in his village, it doesn't go through the proper channels. It's just a few guys stand around and sign documents, you know, one as a witness, and it's kind of a bush thing that they do. So I guess that is the reason why he's saying that. If you do that in his village, is completely different than you making a purchase in Nairobi or in some other village. I do not know.
There is freehold and leasehold land on Kenya. For leasehold, you pay annual. Yeah, leasehold is when you buy it from the government and things like that. But nobody, most of the time, you get that maybe it's the foreigners that have lived in Kenya for very many years, that lease for 100 years. You know, those millionaires, white people, actually, they're mostly white from, let's say, the UK, that never left, those ones. But most of the time, when you buy a piece of land, it is called freehold. So freehold means nobody should come there telling you, hey, wait. You know, it's yours. And actually you have the right to do anything in that piece of land. You know, other countries, they can't even allow you to build in some pieces of land because it's maybe perceived reserved. In Kenya, you do whatever you want. Yeah. As long as it's not a story building, you can build anything you want on your land. You can even build fish ponds, swimming pools, whatever you want.
But my understanding is that it is a leasehold and not a freehold. But I think Marwa is saying that because, you know, say for example, an older person goes to his village, like Jamaican grandma, and purchase land, and then she dies. Who is going to get that land? I am Marwa and I am Marwa's family. That's who's going to get that land, because Jamaican grandma family's not going to move to that village. They're young people, probably young people, they're not interested in moving to that village. Same thing with Jamaican grandpa or Jamaican uncle. Same thing with him. If he buys land there and build a nice house, and why do you think Marwa bought him land or gift him land that he bought? Because Jamaican uncle is the type who will build a nice little villa. So now if Jamaican uncle is at that age, what? Probably only have about a few years leave on this earth. You never know. As a strong man, you know. Because if he becomes feeble, he's not going to live in Africa. He's going to want to be back in America, where it's better health care, and his kids lives here. So he would want to be back in America. He wouldn't want to be in Africa. So he only have a few more years leave as a strong man. He built his villa there. As he gets, say he's there back and forth, and then he starts to become old and feeble, and leave the villa there in Africa. It belongs to Marwa. It belongs to Marwa and his family. And this is why he is encouraging older people to go there and build. Because anything they build there, any land they buy there, it's for him. It's freebie, okay? Freebie. That's the tactic he's using, and he's smart for doing that. You can't blame him. If you find a donkey, you ride it. So hey, let's not complain about him telling these people that to do that. And as we all suspected, the land was never in Jamaican uncle's name. It's in Marwa's name. Well, he's saying it's in his name, but I think it's in Marwa's dad's name. So now he's saying he will transfer the land to Jamaican uncle when Jamaican uncle returns to Kenya.
Jamaican uncle, I see Jamaican uncle has land. Jamaican uncle, when we go to Kenya, I will transfer, okay? I will transfer the name to your name, because when I bought the land, we've never met with Jamaican uncle after. So when we go back home, I'll make sure I get the papers and it's transferred to your name so you can officially own. Yes. But it's still yours, 100%, 100%,
Anyway, so he went on to mention that, there is no taxes when you buy your house. That's it for the rest of your life. It's your house. You can do whatever you want to do with it. And then he went on to mention that if you give an example, like if you have a house in America and you want to gift that house to your child as a gift, you have to pay taxes on the gain. I guess he couldn't really explain that, but Marwa is absolutely right when he mentioned that, listen, in Africa you don't have any capital gain if you gift your child your house, and you can do whatever modifications to your house and you don't have to report to anyone. But in America it is completely different, and I'm glad that he's realizing, and he has known this all along, even though he constantly begged these people in America who they're living a tough life in America. Of course they are, because Marwa mentioned how difficult America is and how things are expensive and how the rules are completely different in America. Because he mentioned that you can't gift your house, and he's absolutely right. If you gift your house to your child, you will trigger a huge capital gain tax. He's absolutely right about that, because the cost basis of the house, if you gift your house, will be what your, say for example, your parents gift you your house. The cost basis, the adjusted cost basis, will be whatever your parents paid for your house, for their house, example, 10 years ago. Not the present day cost when they're gifting you the house. The adjusted cost basis will be what they paid for that house 10 years ago or 5 years ago, plus any modifications that they did to the house. So now there is a capital gain exclusion if you meet certain criteria. All right, so Marwa doesn't know that some people don't have to pay that capital gain at all if you plan correctly with an estate planner and they walk you through what exactly you have to do. Live in the house for a certain amount of time. It has to be a primary resident, yada yada yada, all of that good stuff. And then you decide a couple years later that you're going to sell the house, then you probably don't have to pay a single dollar in capital gain over, as long as it's not over $250,000 if you're a single person, or $500,000 if you are a married person. But Marwa doesn't know that. Also, you can will your house to your child. Leave them as the beneficiary, so when you die they get your house. Now in that case, it's called a step-up basis. The cost basis will be whatever the house cost at the time of death, which will be the step-up basis. All right, and say for example the house costs $500,000 when you die. Your child decides to stay in that house for 2 years. Your child decides to stay in the house and then sell the house for $700,000 after 2 years. Then the capital gain will be calculated by subtracting the $500,000 from $700,000, which will only be $200,000, and that's how they will calculate the taxes on that capital gain of $200,000. Okay, and as I said, there are exclusions, there are workarounds. You just have to speak with your attorney, your tax attorney, and also speak with your estate planner or an accountant, and they will walk you through it before you do it. Years before you decide to do these things, do not run to them on the day that you want to do it. These things you need to discuss a little while before, okay, so they can plan all of this for you. One of the things that I suggest that you not do though is to sell your house to your child for $1, and a lot of people in America have been doing that, where they are selling their houses for $1. Well, a couple of years ago they used to do that. I don't know if they still do that, but that is the worst thing that you can ever do, is to sell your house for $1, because it will trigger a huge capital gain tax, because the only portion that will be not taxable will be that $1. Okay. So please don't do that. A lot of people are afraid that if they get, as they get older, they don't want anything in America to be in their name, and there's a lot of reasons for that. It's because, say for example, you get sick and you go to the hospital and you incur this huge hospital bill and you can't pay for it. They can come after your house, and it's one of the reasons why a lot of people sign their houses over to their children. Like I said, before you decide to do any of this, you speak to an estate planner or a tax attorney, and they will be able to assist you. All right. Sorry, I divert a bit, but I just had to, clarify what Marwa said and agree with him on that sense, but also explain that there are exclusions. So it's not as horrible as he made it seem. Things are tough in America, so I 100% agree with him, and I'm glad that he's aware of that, even though every single day he's out here begging nonstop, and realize that people have to pay for every single thing in America when he has such a sweet life. In fact, he's talking about someone else building him a kitchen, people buying him stuff, people giving him money from all walks of life. He's not ready to go back to Kenya yet, because he hasn't received enough money to buy his tickets. I'm pretty sure that, last time he mentioned that he was waiting on Rocio's license. She got her license. So now we're going to see what is the excuse going to be. What? He doesn't have enough money to buy a ticket. He wants to buy Mr. Louis a car before he leaves. He wants to do all these things, but yet he doesn't have any money. I am not understanding this guy. And yet he's also talking about America and all the things in America that Americans can't do, but he has the luxury back home in Africa to do these things. But yet, always constantly begging. I just don't understand him, man. And I don't understand people who can't see right through him as well. But to each its own. It's their money. It's not my money. There was one lady who came on my comment section, and she said, I am going to give him everything I have so you can be jealous, so we can hurt you, so we can make you cry. And I said, Miss, I will laugh at you, because it's your money to lose. You are stupid. You are an idiot. You are a fool. What made you think that I am going to sit and cry if you take out all of your little money that you have from the bank and give it to Ayama? What make you think I'm going to be sad or be unhappy? This is how foolish his followers are. Some of them are really foolish. And I couldn't believe that woman said that in the comment section. Why would I cry? Why would I be hurt? Are you serious? Woman, we're going to laugh at you because you're going to be the one who have nothing to eat in days to come. You're going to be the one penny pinching when you take your money and give to him. Listen, a lot of these people who are sending him a lot of money every week, I'm not calling any names, but every single day on a live, just because they want him to mention their name, they send him 20 pounds. Those very same people can't walk into an expensive store and buy themselves something nice. They can't. I am telling you they can't, because I've seen their pictures before and they look busted, tired, like they need to get a facial, get a massage, get something. Like they've been just stressed, working all their lives and just, not taking care of themselves. Listen, we'll be here to laugh at you, darling. So if you think we're going to be here jealous, I feel sorry for you. That's the tactic Marwa used so that you guys can send money to him. He tell you guys that we're jealous because he wants you to send him money. He wants you guys to say, yeah, we're gonna make them jealous some more. Let's do it, guys. Let's do it. We're going to make them very jealous. Come on. Let's give more money. Foolish people. Foolish. Never met such a people foolish in my life. Never met such people this foolish in my life. Seriously. Huh? Guys, can you believe that? So there was one other thing that caught my attention that Marwa said, and he mentioned something about the cops in his country when I forgot what the conversation was about, but he said that if you have money in Kenya, then, I think he said the only issue in Kenya, that was the issue. He said the only issue in Kenya or in Africa is that if you have money, you can sort of pay your way through life or buy your way through life, or you can, for example, the police, you can pay them off and they do whatever. It's corrupt. That's all. What he was trying to say is that it's corrupt there.
Africa is most of the time, if you have money, you can have your way. It's like that.
And we have seen this with the next topic that I will talk about, and that's Gintu. Words on the street is that Gintu has been arrested. One of his boys mentioned today that Gintu was arrested, but they're not sure what he was arrested for. Someone said he fought the police. We don't know when or how, if this was the previous fight or if this is a current fight, but they're saying that Gintu got arrested because he fought the police. And I think I don't remember his name, but the guy was asking for donations to help get Gintu out of jail.
I got an accident, so we have some miscellaneous effect with my friends. Mugesi has no tooth. Me here, I have a problem. And as Gintu now, he's in the custody. Who will help one another? Who will help one another? And as Gintu was the one who has been taking care of us. Like, he has been helping me. He helped us. He helped my channel until where it have reached. But now they have just took him. And we don't know the charges. And we are afraid to go to hear the charges, because we don't know if it even as we're gonna be thrown into an imbroglio. So I'm just here to tell my family willingly to support Gintu. Gintu is not a good position. Gintu is your boy. Gintu is your fun guy who you have been watching him. So kindly, please, willingly to support _Gintu. If you are Kenya, Uganda, Tanzania, US, India, China, help Gintu to come out of custody. Because this kind of the family, I know that they have just bribed a lot of money, and Gintu, they will charge him a lot of money that even I don't know if he will afford, or he will be taken he will be taken to prison.
And I remember in Marwa's conversation when he mentioned about how corrupt Kenya is, he said, you know, as long as you have money, you can get your way. You can get whatever you want, meaning you can pay the police off, you can do whatever. And then that hit me at the same time when I watched that. I'm like, but that's exactly what his family has been doing for a while, because they have more money than the people in the village. They have been going to the cops and they have been paying the cops off. And remember, I told you that story about how, you know, my brother threatened my mom, and I flew out the very next day to handle it. And yeah, it was because I had money. I handled it because I had money. All I had to do was just show up at the precinct with a smile on my face, an American accent, and money in my hand. That's all I had to do. Yeah, I'm not ashamed to say it, guys. So he's absolutely right. It's not just in Africa, it's in the Caribbean as well, you know. If you have a few dollars, the cops is definitely going to take care of whatever you want them to take care of for you. So that's what's happening in the village right now. And perhaps that's how they got Gintu, because it appears that the Marwa family has the cops in that area on a payroll. So anything they want them to do, all they have to do is pick the phone up, make a phone call, and bam, they pick them up right away. Okay, so hopefully Gintu will be out soon, and of course, you know, he doesn't hold back. He's going to tell his story, and he is going to tell it all. He's going to spill the beans on exactly what happened, what got him arrested, why he was arrested, and how he was treated. Hopefully it is not too serious. According to his friend, they took his phone. So I'm pretty sure they're going to delete everything that's on his phone, perhaps take his phone away from him. I don't know how the cops work there, but guys, I don't know. But fingers crossed, I'm pretty sure Gintu will be out soon. You know, he's isn't he the CID or something like that? So he'll be out soon, and he has a lot of people rooting for him. So hey, I hope that he gets out soon, and let us know what happened, and you know what went down. Oh, I think the guy who mentioned it was Mayani. And when I saw Mayani, I'm like, I thought he was drunk, guys. I'm like, whoa, I'm like, this guy is drunk. What's happening? And then he mentioned that he was in an accident, and that's why he was like slurring the way he was talking, like he was about to pass out. Like, you know, when you're woozy like this, drunk, I'm like, this dude is drunk. What's going on, man? And then he mentioned to me that him and Mages in another accident. I'm like, what in the world? That's a tiny little village, isn't it, guys? It's not even in the big city, and these guys are in accidents every month. I'm not understanding what is going on. Were they used to be in accidents before all this YouTube stuff going on in that village? Or was it because they didn't have a motorbike then? Oh my goodness, this is crazy. They have to be more careful, because he said his mouth is damaged. He could hardly talk. And he said Magesi is missing teeth. So I don't know if his front teeth are gone or what teeth are gone, but Magesi, I guess, hit his head again. And what is happening with these young boys in the village? Whoa, I'm sorry guys, but this YouTube thing ruined that village. I'm sorry. People are saying that the YouTube did a whole lot of good. I think it did a whole lot of bad for that village as well. It did a whole lot of bad for that village. It's too much. They can't handle it. The boys can't handle the fame. They can't handle the money. You know, it's, I don't know. I don't know. And the jealousy with this one and that one and the next one. It's just too much. It's too much. I don't know what to say. And it appears that the elderlies are not jumping in to try to control the younger boys anymore like they used to. I thought it's a village where there's an elder who oversees the entire village, but apparently not. I don't know, everybody's just gone rogue right now. Everybody's just gone rogue, people doing whatever they want to do. Dee and her sister, brother, is still on the coast, up in some other village, doing village cooking every day. I just can't watch them. I don't know. I don't know what kind of birthday he celebrated, him and her. All I saw was a big place, but I didn't see any people. I saw them saying, oh, the place is set up really nice. So I thought they were going to have one huge crowd. I don't know. It was just the two of them. But nothing is wrong with that. There are times I celebrate my birthday all by myself. When I was sick in 2020 from COVID, I celebrated my birthday all by myself because everybody was afraid to be around me. Anyway, guys, that is it. That is it. It's boring out here on the streets. All right, boring out here on the streets. For this channel, for my other channel, it's fire. I have something coming up. Fire! So I have a lot of stuff I can talk about on that channel. I kid you not, a lot. Anyway, guys, thank you for watching, and it's a short video, but hopefully you enjoyed, and see you in my next video. Ta-ta!